What's going on, everybody? This is a segment from the Nerdgasm Talk podcast. If you like podcasts, well, why don't you come join us as the crew gets silly and Philly while we sit to talk about the latest in comics, games, movies, and all things pop culture. You guys can listen to our whole show on all the podcasts apps. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys get your podcasts from. And make sure you guys also support the channel by subscribing to the Nerd Coalition Studios. And for the gaming needs, make sure you subscribe to Nerd Coalition Level Up. This is the Nerd Coalition. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And now, feel the Nerdgasm. November 18th, 1982. The greatest album of all time was released. Michael Jackson's Thriller.
The greatest album?
Say what?
The greatest album?
I'm not being a little biased. I'm a Michael Jackson fan.
I mean, that's my third favorite MJ album. So, you know.
Yeah. Okay, but seriously, you know, you can look at it as the greatest. It could be one of the greatest. It can be one of the most important albums of all time. But it's hard to rate that because, you know, music is subjective. People, you like what you like. But when it comes to me, Thriller's up there. It's some of my favorite albums. Now, is it my favorite Michael Jackson album? Like, me being a Michael Jackson fan? No, my favorite album is Bad. But, that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not to say the importance that Thriller had on society. Because Thriller is what turned the superstar Michael Jackson into an icon.
Yep.
That's when he crossed over. He was never able to get back to that point. Like everybody was talking about like that with Usher when it comes to Confessions. He was never able to get back to that. That's what happened with Thriller. Now don't get Michael Jackson made great, not good, great music after Thriller had some great albums, but he was the success of Thriller was such a monster. He was never able to get back to that.
Yeah, as far as like awards and all that, I feel like popularity, yes, because you know, we already know them tours weren't selling out like they should have been. You know what I'm saying? For the biggest star in the world.
What you talking about? Victory?
Yeah.
Victory tour was selling out.
No, they were not.
Not like on the level of the Bad tour, right?
No, I mean they were not selling out.
Oh, really?
Really? Yeah. Really?
Oh, so yeah. Okay. Like I said, I wasn't too aware of that. So.
Yeah, you know, like, you know, it was the whole ticket situation, and you know, James Brown and all them was mad at it. Was, you know, it was the whole.
Okay, yeah, I do know about that. I do know about.
Yeah,
that.
they were just mad about the ticket situation. So no, they were not selling out because of that situation, and you know, so. Yeah. There were reasons, but
which, by the way, Mike did not want to do in the first place.
Yes, and then Don King said, "Only the Americans we're gonna do these tickets." Yeah.
Mike was not a fan of them doing the tickets. He said, "You know, look, people don't be thinking that Mike was about the people. I mean, like Mike was about the people."
Yeah.
Especially when James Brown said, "Oh, I ain't coming up there. If you cheap the people like this." I'm like, "Oh, see, don't bring Mike Hart like that." But anyway, the Thriller, which was just like, oh my God, this was like a mega success. This is when Michael Jackson became the household name.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, like, I'm sorry, Joe. I don't care what you saying. I'm taking Thriller on the road. I'm not trying to do no with my brothers for that. I can do it next show next year. Well, I'm not doing Thriller, but
yeah, I'm my, you know, because I started to think about it because it's sitting there thinking like, look, okay, we never got the Thriller tour. You know, it was the Victory tour with Thriller in it. You know,
it was only a little bit of Thriller. It wasn't like all. It wasn't like, you know. It wasn't but like a few off the wall songs and a few Jackson songs, a few Thriller songs, but
you know. to think that album got that much success without a tour back in those days,
yep.
is to say something. Okay,
Yeah.
and he did 3 short films for Beat, because back then it was like 3 short films per album until Bad came out. He's like, fuck that, we doing all this. But he did Thriller, Beat It, and Billie Jean.
Billie Jean was not a short film.
You know, Michael called them short films. He didn't call them music videos.
It was a crappy music video. That was a music video.
Billie Jean is the weakest out of it, because first of all, everybody associated
the weakest. It's probably one of his weakest videos.
I mean, I will still watch Billie Jean when she's out of my life. Okay, so
I'd rather watch She's Out of My Life. But, yeah. I don't care. Give me the spotlight.
But it doesn't matter, because when people think of Billie Jean right now, they think of the performance, opposed to the music video. But Thriller and Beat It, yeah. So 40 years later, November 18th, 2022, they released Thriller 40, and I have to say, I was like, okay, what is it going to be for this 40th anniversary of Thriller? To be honest with you, because I remember listening to. I didn't own it, which was Thriller 25. He did, and it was more so like you had the songs, and then they did like some hip hop or pop remixes of the songs. I was just like, I'm good.
Went to me, you didn't want to hear Michael Jackson and Fergie,
or Akon or Kanye or all that shit. I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good. No, I'm good. But this time, they're saying that they got the bonus material of new songs that were supposed to be used by Michael Jackson for Thriller, or that was going to be put on there, or whatever the case may be, that it's going to be released part of the album. So me and Prime, being Michael Jackson fans, decided to check this thing out. I'm an old school guy, and I understand that when it comes to it's better to go the new school route. But me personally, I think Thriller 40 was kind of a flop. From what I would have done to celebrate 40 years of Thriller. Because sometimes I think when it comes to the anniversary of these great albums and things like that, I think you got to make it worthwhile for the people, the fans that helped make that successful, because it's one of the greatest selling albums of all time. I think you gotta make it worthwhile for these people, and I feel as though that people like Michael, Prince, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, those icons, when they don't release a song for a reason, there's a reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
And when they had these kind of albums, like, okay, this is the edition, we're gonna put these extra songs on here, on CDs, on top of that, Now I know I still listen to CDs, but everybody don't. And me personally, I was just like, what I would have wanted to see before we even get into this is that I personally would have wanted to see, like, okay, I wanted them to have like a Thriller, like a Thriller set where it comes with like a big box set for Thriller that fans like myself will have no problem spending $150 for. Let me explain. Because you gotta make it worthwhile.
Oh wait, well, we still don't know if that's happening yet, because it could be.
Unless you got some insight, it'd be great.
No, I know they have a documentary coming out. I'm saying documentary and the album could be a box set.
I mean, it could be, but okay. But I'm saying now because I remember like when they just released Batman, like the Adam West version when he passed away, they did the whole Batman show. It's like, this is the first time it's ever going to be on Blu-ray DVD. Like, they had the whole set. They came with the Batmobile. They came with all the shows remastered. It came with, a booklet, breaking down all the back, the stuff like that, and the behind the scenes stuff. So what I was thinking, like, when it comes to Thriller, instead of just doing a CD, which a lot of people don't care about CDs anymore. I mean, is that fair to say?
Well, no, it's mostly streaming, so they just put all the songs out on streaming.
Exactly, but I mean, there's an actual physical Thriller 4 you can buy. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, but I don't think when it comes to stuff like that physically, I don't think they, like I said, they could do a box set, but I don't think physically they're gonna do anything because, like I said, people don't really do physical stuff like that.
Exactly, but I'm just saying, in a weird perfect world like my own, what I would have did was, if it's 40 years of Thriller, of course I'm gonna re-release the album. If you want to put these bonus songs on there, fine. I would have had the making of Thriller, the one that they actually record. They had to record a documentary called The Making of Thriller. Then I would have released a Blu-ray of all the Thriller videos and the Billie Jean performance from Motown 25 in 4K. Because if y'all have not seen the 4K version of Thriller and beat it, y'all gotta go ahead and check that out. Because Prime showed it to me and I was like, what the fuck is this? This thing looks beautiful and scary at the same time. Because it looked like they just recorded this joint last week, but it's like they're dressing up like it's the 80s. That's how clear this thing is. And I would have did that, showing the short films in 4K and showing some interviews leading up to Thriller, the process of making Thriller. Maybe had like a little Michael Jackson werewolf figurine or him in his iconic Thriller, outfit, something like that. Something that's like, okay, to make it worthwhile to, even though you may not be in the physical to buy it, because it's kind of like this. We last year for Christmas we got my father-in-law Spike Lee's new book. Have you seen Spike Lee's new book?
Nope.
Okay, it's not a chapter book. It's like a huge horizontal book that talks everything every project Spike Lee has done, from music videos to movies to plays, whatever the case may be, the TV shows. They talk about that. They have a breakdown. They show the behind the scenes stuff, and you talk about the inspiration for that. Every single thing he did, and it's an awesome ass book. I'm like, is it physical? Sure, but it's called Spike 50, and I was like, that looks like that's something that I want myself, And I was like, that looks amazing, and I'm like, for something like for fucking Thriller, I would do the same. I would do the same thing. Even put a vinyl in there or something, something to make it worthwhile. Just instead of keep making these remixes or putting these demos on a CD, on a physical CD that nobody's going to buy in the first place. I mean, well, I want to buy it. I want to buy it, but that's what I would do. I did, sometimes when you do that kind of stuff, it's making it lack, and I'm like, I want to. I don't know. I want to own something. There are people out there that want to own something.
Well, I mean, the reason for Thriller 40, we all know, like, yeah, there are more demos. We all know they're re-releasing it just to re-release it. We all know it's not like we're getting anything quote unquote new. We're just getting demos. We all know they re-releasing it just to re-release it to
make
so
money.
You can rebuy this album. Yes.
Yeah.
It's not really re-releasing it to like, oh, we're gonna add all this stuff, because like I said, physical copy, like, people do physical copies, but they just don't really do physical copies, and everything is online and on Spotify and streaming and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I'm also saying, but it don't have to just be with music. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. If you release a Blu-ray or a,
but I'm saying if you're releasing a Blu-ray, right?
Yeah.
what are you gonna release that they haven't already paid for and seen on YouTube?
You wouldn't want to see the making of Thriller in 4K.
That's already on YouTube though.
Not in 4K.
Yeah, you can find a video on there being 4K.
The actual documentary of making a Thriller.
Yes, you can find one that will be in 4K. You gotta look for it on YouTube.
I say, but why do all that wackiness on it?
I mean, I'm just saying, people some of this stuff like that for free is what I'm saying. Like, all these videos were made already in 4K, but the actual channel made it for 4K now. You know, it's like, if we were released this in 4K, cool, but like, all these people on YouTube that already did it. These performances, these multi performances, people don't already put these in 4K. But okay, you know what? I can explain it this way. You know how obviously the video was uploaded in 2009.
Yeah.
And you seen that when it was in 4K. The people of his estate have the wherewithal to do that for all his videos, but they just don't want to do it for some reason. I don't know why. If they were to do that and release all his stuff in 4K or remastered, then yeah, that would be something I would buy.
Yeah,
but they for some reason not on the same page to do that.
Because I do have the Michael Jackson Visions DVD, which was an awesome DVD that they released back when he passed away.
Yeah, but that's not an HD or 4K.
As I'm saying, I would buy if they put everything in 4K. Absolutely.
It's like they don't just have the wherewithal to just put his. They could put all performances, all the stuff that he owned, all the rehearsals. Okay, they could do all that.
That's something that I would want to see.
See, me too. That's the thing. But some of the stuff that they waited for, people done already did. So I'm like, yeah, if they do it, it'll be cool. But like, this person or these people done already did all those. So if they have to do it in 4K, they will have to do other stuff like those performances or those behind the scenes videos they're about to put in 4K.
Okay. Well, they released some songs. Me and Prime heard most of them from they call it the bonus material. These are songs that Rod Temperton or Michael Jackson wrote and produced, and along Quincy Jones also, and that didn't make it to the album or whatever the story was behind them. And to be honest with you, there is some songs that I'm just like, okay, that's kind of cool. But to be honest with you, they sound the same. I don't want to say sound the same. It's like certain songs that they got this upbeat, that's behind it, and it's just like, I don't know if it's like it's cool and all that. Like Starlight is interesting because that was what Thriller was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And they, I was like, if you listen to it, it's like, okay, that's pretty interesting. They have one called "Can't Get Out of the Rain," which was clearly, if you listen to it, I'm like, you can tell that's clearly a Jackson's hit. That it was like, we're gonna use this for the Jacksons and not a Michael Jackson thing. So, I can understand that. But then when I listened to I listened to Carousel, and, Got the Hots, and The Toy, and Sunset Driver, I'm sitting there thinking, like this is gonna be like different range of songs here. Like I thought Who Do You Know would have been like a Lady in My Life type thing, and it wasn't. They all kind of like fast paced, kind of like bop type music. I'm like, yeah,
this is for Thriller now, because not trying to say all these songs on Thriller are fast, but they all got the same 80s type of feel to it.
Okay, but even with the 80s type feel to it, Beat It don't sound like Thriller. It, Billie Jean don't sound like Want to Be Starting Something. Now, granted, like I said, they all have their definitive fast beats, and they all have that 80s sound to it, and they all had a pop sound to it, but also Human Nature and Lady in My Life are two of his big R&B hits, but they sound different.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. You see how much Human Nature has been sampled? and it's just like if like his song, like, "What a Lovely Way to Go." I'm just sitting there thinking like, okay, well, you can have a Human Nature feel to that, or a Lady in My Life feel to that, or each song just, like I said, it had like the poppy behind it, but they all kind of sounded similar, opposed to them all having you can all have a fast paced song, but also sound a little bit different. Every time if "Wanna Be Sorry" something comes on, it's a fast paced song, but then I already know when Billie Jean is the beat is different in its own way. To this, it just feels like it felt all the same to me in certain ways. How did you feel about it?
That's why they all the demos. And it was like, all right, we can plan to do this. Like some of them, like the beat to Sunset Drive. I'm like, this sound like it will be on an album like this, but also I can see why it got cut, and then why it wasn't on like a Bad album, because Bad had a whole different sound.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
I can see why it just got scrapped. Like some stuff just happens where it just gets scrapped.
Yeah.
There's a few songs that I've heard from different people that it got scrapped, and then the next album they wanted to go for a different look, and it just can't go on there. So the song just gets lost. Like, okay, you know what? I got it. There's this Bobby Brown song.
Yeah.
Never released, and it could have went so good on his third album. With his back showing.
Oh, okay.
But it just never went on there, and then like now it's like the song just lost, and I'm like, this song is actually a good song. Well, I liked it. It's a good song, but now it's just lost. Like it never will be made, and it's like it's just a lost song. It just happens.
I'm saying, I know cutting room floor happens. I know there's thousands of songs or hundreds of songs that Mike has that's been cut and haven't been used. I'm just saying, for Thriller 40, how did you like the presentation? I remember you didn't like the cover too much. How did you feel about?
I didn't like the cover because it was just like 4-0, and like usually when I think of anniversary, I like it for some reason. Silver goes with me.
Yeah,
and I feel like all they did was just take the album and put his face out and put a 4-0 over it. I'm like, you could have did something like have you seen what? Like, I think Janet had like the 35th anniversary of Control. Was it Control? One of the albums she had a 35th anniversary, and they did like a thing of her cover, and I'm like, this is how you're supposed to do a cover. Like,
yeah,
you're supposed to do it like when you in the store and you see it, you will want it. That's how I will feel like.
You're absolutely right, because when I walk into the store and I see that Thriller 40, I'm just like, that's not jumping at me. That's lazy in my personal opinion.
Like, even look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Even him laying there with the tiger, whatever. I'm not doing. I'm doing something. I'm gonna take a different picture or something from what
I'm
the
pretty
album's
sure
supposed
he
to
took
be.
multiple fucking pictures.
Yeah, I'm gonna just take a outtake picture and then add like a background or something to it and say this is Thriller 40. Not the one with him leaning is cool, but like I would do something with him doing an action shot, him like leaning over, him pointing, something else that's not the actual album cover that we got, and then put a background behind it. And this is Thriller 40 because it's the same but different. Same suit, same photo shoot, but different pose that you know.
Exactly. That's what I was hoping that they would do. I felt as though that this was obviously put together for a cash grab, because it is, And I mean, no thought was put into this.
I don't know who's working at his estate or how old they are, but I think their age tells them much about what they're doing, because like they're not doing nothing creative. They don't do nothing creative. They're just doing basically they're doing what they're supposed to do, but badly. That's what I would say.
Yeah. Like
usually, when it comes to re-releases, like I was talking about earlier, on the 4K stuff. If they were younger, younger people, everything is in 4K. Why wouldn't you want to upgrade with the times,
Yeah.
Or put performances out? Instead of looking at these old grainy, you can't even tell what's the street and what's not the street in some of these videos.
Exactly. Yeah. It just...
Yeah, it's like younger people having all these ideas. What if this happened? Like, You mean it to me? You're supposed to put an album out for his 40th anniversary. Like you're supposed to, or you're supposed to do this or that, and they just like, yeah, I guess we'll do it. That's their sentiment. That's how I feel. They be like, I guess we'll do an album or whatever. I guess we'll do a documentary. We ain't do one on Thriller. I guess we'll do one. Whatever. That's how I feel like that's how they go about it.
Yeah, and I unfortunately, when you're dealing with somebody like Michael fucking Jackson, you will put some effort into it because that's how he worked. He's a perfectionist. And I'm sorry that we're doing a 40th anniversary for Ray Parker Jr. You know what I'm saying? We're doing this is Michael fucking Jackson.
Man, obviously Halloween came up and I seen the show and it's like, oh, and we're gonna have Ray Parker Jr. performing Ghostbusters. I'm like, what other song he got? Like, obviously he's gonna be doing Ghostbusters. Like, what you mean? And they like he gonna be performing the new songs. Like, obviously he's performing Ghostbusters. Anytime you say we got Ray Parker Jr., we already know.
Exactly. Yeah. Because his other song nobody cared about. So I'm just like, yeah. So that's I felt as though that it just didn't have. As Jackie Jackson would say, it didn't have that Jackson magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I felt as though it was just a very lazy release. To be completely honest with you, it was a very lazy release, and I like I said, it was cool hearing some of the demos, even back in the day when I got like I want to say in 2009 they did the 30th was that the 30th anniversary of Off the Wall or the 20 something anniversary of Off the Wall.
Probably.
Let's see, 1979. So about the 30th anniversary of Off the Wall. So they had Off the Wall, and then they had on the disc they had interviews about each song from him, Rod Temperton, also where it came from, how Janet and Randy helped him on certain parts, elements of the song, and I was like, it was cool listening to that on a CD and learning about all this kind of stuff for Off the Wall, and I was like, damn, they don't even do that no more.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? I would just like to know inspiration from the song. I would like to just know certain things. Shit, you can even turn a song into a music video.
Now, I'm glad that they got some of these demos because some of these act like you can tell these actually Michael. Some of the past albums were not Michael.
Oh,
naming those songs, but some of them was like, yeah, this is a Mike song. Like, no, that's not Mike. That's an impersonator. Or something.
Yeah, but here's what you actually tell. So,
mm-hmm.
As a Michael Jackson fan, I'm just like me personally. I mean, if you wanted to add to your collection, add it. Because I like collecting things. I like to add to my collection. But could they definitely do better and have a better release, or whatever the case may be? Absolutely. I'm hoping that they do release something else. For it, because to me this was just like hurry up, rush, and put it out there in the end. And I'm just like, he deserves better.
Yeah, but I don't know who got running his thing, so
Yeah, I know, but like I said, hopefully, stay tuned for all that because I'm hoping there'll be more. But it is what it is. Thriller 40, y'all.
It sounds so somber. Thriller 40. That's all I say is.
I'm just saying, like, for the stuff I heard, it was cool. But it wasn't. It wasn't really the best. It wasn't really the greatest to me. Like I said, the album never jumped out at me, and I was like, this is the best we got for a 40th anniversary release of things I wanted to see. Like from the trailer that I saw, even though I don't know if it was the official trailer. The trailer
I told you it was not official trailer.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
You think these people are creative enough to have a trailer for this? The fans be more excited than the people do. That when people be like,
exactly. The way this trailer was done, it looked like hey, we about to get 4K videos along with the performances. Shit, I would have just released the whole Victory Tour in 4K. Why not?
Yeah, they got it, but oh my god, they need to do all the tours in 4K.
Bruh, do you know how I would love the Victory Tour copy that I got is so grainy, and you know the footage is like I can barely tell who's on stage sometimes, unless the lights are showing. Can you imagine they released that shit in 4K?
Yeah, that's what I told you. It seems like they're just doing the bare minimum before they want, because they don't have to be creative enough. So
yeah, who wouldn't buy that? You know how much money they can make that off alone if you say, hey, look, on 4K, because right now, you don't care about DVD no more. It's all about the 4K Ultra and the Blu-ray disc. And you get a 4K Ultra Victory Tour? Shit. You damn right I'm buying that.
Or bad, or anything.
Yeah, or anything I say, but since we're talking about Thriller here, and that was like, with my fingers up, Thriller Tour, you know, you talk about that. So shit, you damn right.